Hi everyone, here's a warm-up to help you energize and revise some language at the same time. So what do you need? For this activity you need 2 racing cars, some language to review, and dice. The 2 racing cars you can cut them up from the worksheet which you'll find on the PD notice board in the staff room. To make things easier for you, I have cut up some sets and put them in a plastic sleeve, and you'll find that on the notice board too. So how does it work? Well, basically you have to select some language to review. So you can either make some notes on a pad, or you can just use material from your course book. So some examples of language would be things like phrasal verbs. So I picked up some Chinese when I was on holiday in China. Some dependent prepositions that you may have taught, things like lead to, depend on. It could be some item of grammar like used to, would, or past simple. It could also be difference between individual sounds. For example, the different sounds for the letter U, as in accuse versus business. It could also be word stress, as in photographer. And it could also be as well some functional exponent, like if you're doing agree and disagree, and you can look at informal language for agreement, like you can say that again. So the first thing you need to do in class is to divide the class into 2 teams, team 1 and team 2. You give each team 1 dice, and you assign 1 racing car to each team, so car 1 to team 1 and car 2 to team 2. You then tell the teams that you are going to give them a definition for words, or you're going to ask them a question. It could be a pronunciation question, or a functional question, or a grammar question, and you're also going to instruct them to do something. So it could be look at these 3 words and tell me where the stress goes, or I want you to give me 3 synonyms for this particular word. The other thing you need to do is to tell the students that if they know the answer, they must put their hand up and say stop, and that person is the one who is going to answer the question. If the person's answer is correct, then their racing car will progress in the race. Now let's just watch a demonstration. The first thing I do is I draw a car racing course on the board, and I mark different steps with strokes on the racing course. I usually draw a flag and I place the racing cars next to it. That is to mark where the start and the finish point of the race is. Tell group 1 to start, so they throw the dice. So let's imagine they got 3 on the dice. So you throw a question to the class. So for example, give me a phrasal verb which means to learn some language when you're traveling on holiday. And one student says stop, and you ask them what's the answer, and they say it's pick up. So if the answer is correct, then their car moves 3 steps on the racing course. Then you got to give them some time. So if they don't answer within 30 seconds, then you pass the question to the other team. And if they do answer correctly, then their car moves. Another example would be the students throw the dice and they get 4, and then you say, okay, so here are 2 words like photographer and photography, and you ask them where is the stress in each word. And if the student says stop and then give you the correct answer, and you mark it on the board, and if it's correct, then their car will move 4 steps. It's important to tell the students that they have to wait until everyone else in their team has a go before they can try again. But they can help other people, and then can help the person answering the question as well throughout the game. I hope you enjoyed this activity, and I usually use it 2 or 3 times a week, and they absolutely love it. One of the reasons why it's so engaging with the students is because if you tell them the day before that you're going to play the game again the next day, they usually study the vocabulary on the bus or on the train, and then when you play the game, the vocabulary is recycled all the time. I hope you enjoy it.